Hello, everybody. My name is Jacques, and I come from Paris. But at the moment, I am living in the United States of America, where I am full-time faculty at the Ohio State University in the Department of Art, where I am teaching painting. Last week, I got an email from an old student of mine. His name is Nikhil Chopra, and he said to me that teacher, you have influenced me somewhat and have informed me and my life and my practice quite a bit. And I have been invited by the INLAX Foundation to talk to young award winners and art enthusiasts in the audience. So could you please do this on my behalf? And I thought, why? That's kind of strange. Why would he not want to present himself? But then I thought, maybe he wants to kind of think about himself and his own life from a pedagogical place. And I said, okay, you buy me the ticket and I will go to India and to Bombay and I make this presentation on your behalf, and I'm happy to be here. And thank you very much for having me. I want to expand a little bit on this practice of this young man who is now getting old. I think he's approaching 40 or over 40. Old, young is kind of relative. But we had, of course, many conversations. I have very closely followed his work, and I have kept in touch with him. I have been to many of the performances that he's done. So in a way, I think it is kind of fit for me to be doing this for you. But one of the things that I would like to draw attention to, and this is something that came up a lot when we were teacher and student, was the ability to take risks. And I think a lot of young artists, especially I noticed the ones that travel really far away for an education, because the stakes become really high as far as an education like that is concerned, find it quite difficult to put themselves in a risque position. And I could feel that maybe there was this desire in him to want to be maybe punk, or be kind of radical, or kind of really put his body and identity on the line. And I was there with him to encourage that, for him to take a leap of faith, to not worry about who he is and what he looks like, but to take a risk and extend what he can possibly do, so that his understanding about himself becomes clearer and better, and therefore he becomes a more aware citizen and hopefully a more aware artist. So one of the things that I saw that risk created in the past few years of him performing, he's been performing now for 10 years, and in the last 3 or 4 years, we've seen him go from this very genteel character to creating something that's slightly more expressive, which is why I thought it would be interesting to put the word monster down right in the beginning. Just to kind of provoke the idea of creating an image of oneself. So, in a way, what happened here was he dressed up as this kind of black blonde one evening, and I think maybe you saw the picture. And I was passing by with my little dog, because I live around the corner from here in a little flat. Anyway, but I was passing by, and as I was passing by, I saw somebody at the window shouting at Nikhil, who was standing at the window smoking a cigarette with blonde hair and a black face. I thought it was very strange to see him like that, but he is quite strange. So anyway, I go up to the guy, and I don't really talk to him, but I can understand French because he's speaking to him in French, and he's saying to him, how can you be a black face wearing a blonde wig? Don't you understand that this is Paris, and the Paris of today is full of tension between the people of color and the people who and what is French is constantly being conflicted. Don't you know that there are people dying on the streets? How can you do this? How can you do this? And then I went up to him and I said, Monsieur, this person is not from France. This person is from India. He is brown as much as you think he is white. So please do not misinterpret what you see. And he was so embarrassed about the fact that he had made this assumption about it, that he was in a sense transformed to the extent where he sat with me and Nikhil, and we all had a glass of wine together outside. So,
welcome. We're here this evening to witness the presentation of the INLAC's Fine Art Awards for the year 2015 to 5 young artists, all fresh graduates from Indian art colleges, who the foundation will support through the year. Aside from the grant, their assistance includes a 1-month residency within the country. These artists have been chosen by an eminent jury comprising Manisha Parekh, Jaideep Malhotra, Shilpa Gupta, Abhay Sardesai, and Mortimer Chatterjee. Thank you, Abhay. Could I call Nikhil's professor up here so that we can just give out the awards now? This is the last bit of the evening. The awardees have been waiting for this moment. So if you all could just come up one by one and collect your award from. Could we call, we have Sailesh up here first? Yeah, Sailesh.
yes.
Last time we just got the backs of the kids, so Madhu. From Delhi to be with us this evening. We could call upon you to just say a few words and both thanks. Those present, please come.
These scholarships began sometime in 76, 77, and they were Oxford and Cambridge centric. This is what Indu Shivdasani wanted at that time. So there were 4 or 5 colleges, 3 colleges in Cambridge, 5 in Oxford. And I see now the result of this 30, 35 years, having been involved in this right from the inception. So the current chief economic advisor of Government of India is an INLAC scholar, and I can reel out the names like Amita did for the arts world, done absolutely remarkably well. And Lakshmi is here. Is Lakshmi here?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, but what has this got to do with the Arts Award? And what this got to do with Nikhil said. Nikhil said this is about taking risk. As early as 1982, we thought we were taking a big risk. Because as I said, there's a prestigious scholarship following some other scholarships, Oxford, Cambridge, and suddenly we do an experiment or take a risk of bringing arts into this, which was not really in the initial scheme of things. As early as 1982, I still remember interviewing Rekha Rodvite right here in Mumbai, I'm a molecular biologist by training, and here I was looking at. We had great fun following this first arts scholar at the India International Center, where we used to have all these interviews. There's a huge display of all the artists used to bring their work. It was really performance by both people who were judging and people who were being judged. So this went on for a few years. While we were doing this, another risk-taking, and also this is the nature of the foundation, is really organic in many senses. Allows the change to take place. Scholars come back, scholars become part of foundation, they become part of selection procedure, they become trustees. So in that sense, this is an amazing experience. While we were doing that, this happened right in my office, talking to Manisha's father. I just want to give you a sense of history of how this art award really came into being. And before I forget, because there's a lot of things in my head, with Beena Sivdesani, who was a real pusher for bringing arts into this. Through Count Sella, Beena Sivdesani, of course now Azad and Amita, which is an amazing discovery of the foundation. This is matured into what you see today, but really started very small. And the idea occurred that at that given time, when times were changing from Royal College of Arts, Goldsmith, Oxford School, etc., what we are looking at that time, they were talking about late 90s, early 2000s. There's a lot of very good quality work we were looking at, but because of paucity of funds, we couldn't possibly send so many people abroad. And so this was a very small, risk-taking idea at that given time. And then Vibha Chauhan, Manisha Parikh, Manu Parikh, Madhavi, whole lot of people started thinking that should we not do an award in Delhi. It happened right there in Delhi in my office. And I've seen these people, as I see Labor of Love, which I see Abhay and Chatterjee and all of you doing here. I saw these people coming, we're getting forms from these people, getting their slide projectors not working. For 2 days, slide projectors were breaking down. Also, the technology was not as good as it is today. But anyway, to see it to what it has come to now is an amazing, and that was going through my mind when I was sitting and watching the performance. So I'm delighted to be here, and thank you very much. I need to actually spell out the names. Of course, I think the biggest thanks is to the artists, the applicants, or the people who aspire to get these awards. My second biggest thanks is all of you to find time to come here for this evening. But the people who bring this to the level that as we see, Amita may not like it, but it's Amita who is really, I would say in Hindi, Karta Dharta of all these awards now. She is, as you know, she's very good. But you see the good side, but let me assure you, she's very tough. It's amazingly tough. So the vote of thanks, I really want to thank the jury. Manisha has been a real pillar for all these years, both awards, the awards when we have international selection, also right from the very beginning. I've seen rarely such passion, such labor of love that Manisha has provided for all the years. Manisha is not here, but thank you, Manisha, very much. Jaideep Mehrotra, Shilpa Gupta, thank you very much for, again, with the passion that you bring in, and the amazing work that you've done. But my special thanks to Mortimer, who's part of the family now. I really don't need to thank Mortimer Chatterjee. We've seen you for the years that you've given, and I hope you'll continue to do so. And Abhay, your performance. Thank you very much, Abhay, for bringing time and your great performance here. And Nikhil, wherever you are, fantastic performance. Thank you, all of you, very, very much.